Imagine Darth Vader as a sheep, and apparently with digestive distress, we'll say. Darth Vader with intestinal distress. Welcome back, chat. Welcome back. We missed a day in there, but we're back. We got some viewer games. No Monster of the Week video because I missed the day to stream it. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. What is Monster of the Week? Monster of the Week is our weekly tournament series where everybody, no matter how many games you win, or lose for that matter, you will walk away with some coffee. It's intended to give people a stepping stone into the competitive environment. Everything's set at level 1. You can check out details for that in the description of this video. You got that Discord link. Hit up the Discord. That's where all the rules are. You'll hear about it first, all that fun stuff. Just throwing that out there at the beginning. Another thing we got to throw out there is, of course, I am part of the content affiliate program. That means the Phobies team does, in fact, give me coffee for producing Phobies content. I do plan on maybe doing more frequent pack openings. Those videos seem to do well. People seem to like them. So if you're interested in seeing more pack openings rather than me waiting, let me know. Maybe we'll do like a few Dreadfuls a season or something like that. I don't want to burn through it all if people want to see the pack openings. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, if you're interested in Monster of the Week or other Phobies tournaments, let me know. I am reaching out to the devs about some other projects for it. Some other things to try and do. So we'll see how things shape up. I, of course, got to wait for him to get back from the weekend. I left him a note just as a, like, hey, this is still here. Let me know on Monday, sort of thing. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But we're also going to see what happened in these viewer games. We don't have too many duplicates. There are some. But the list did fill up quite nicely. So take a look at a Potenzia game to start. Where is it? I think it's this one. I didn't really look too closely, but we're going to take a look at this one. So Potenzia 2 is our hero here. One of the goofiest games I've had lately. Can't talk. Also, count the number of hits that 3.0 got Lamau. All right, let's see what we got. Speaking of Lamau, we may have some some hilarious things in store for Variety tomorrow. Maybe clown it up, chat. We may clown it up a little bit. I don't know. There's a bunch of games that are literally coming out this week. I don't know if I'll be able to stream all of them. Some of them might not work for stream. Like some of them are mobile games, which haven't helped me. I'm going to try to play a mobile game. I hate playing games on mobile, but sometimes you got to do it. Anyway, Potenzia going back to their roots with the old werewolf opener. The old werewolf. So we'll see what happens here. Where's bad guys doing their... Ooh, they're matching the puppy. Double puppies. Let's see what we got here. I got my own... Well, I mean, we've had Harley on stream before, but... I did get a new... Well, I got 3 new toys. One of them is Alapex, which, if you've read the IDW Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series, you'll know who that character is. Don't spoil me, because I only got up to, like, issue 50. I think they were going on 150 now. So I need to catch up. But it's one of those... I'm debating buying, like, the big anthology packages. But Alapex is really cool. I was really excited to get her. I never expected we were going to get an Alapex toy. But I'm glad we did. She doesn't want to stand right now. She has itty-bitty feet, so it's very difficult to make her stand. Alapex figure? Nice, yeah. I got kind of spoiled on how Jenica shows up, which is kind of unique. Like, I don't mind spoilers too much, but I do kind of want to read it, like, and just, like, learn it the right way, you know what I mean? So our hero here presenting a ton of threats. I don't know what, like, all right, so real talk, like, I don't know what bad guy is doing. But I guess they expected, and this is a thing with ladder. I should let the game play, but, like, this is a thing with ladder that people tend to just play so poorly that you kind of get into the habit of, like, not necessarily playing the right line. Because, so what I'm saying here is, like, a lot of people would probably not be this aggressive as Potenzia is. And instead, they would back off their top left panic point and then maybe do nothing. No, like, accomplish nothing. But instead, Potenza here is at least forcing them to do something. And is it correct? I don't know. But the point is that, like, it probably caught bad guy off guard. Because the more aggressive lines are not commonly what is taken. It didn't actually work out here because you couldn't trap the snowball, which was the goal. But, I mean, you take what you can get. So we're getting the big retreat here. Rusty, notably a threat now. Gilbo was hanging out in chat the other night and pointed out, like, how weird is it that Rusty's a thing? It's like, yeah. But having the cost on it, even though it was 2-to-1, I mean, it is literally having it. That's how math works. Kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal. So interestingly enough, bad guy did break this bottom block, cap that panic point a couple turns ago. Getting a big beatdown going down onto Ginsting. I feel like Rusty should do damage when he bites. I've suggested that before. Like, pre-Rusty buff, there were a lot of suggestions. And among them, I thought Rusty could apply, like, a bleed. You know what I mean? Like a damage over time effect or something like that. Obviously, that didn't materialize, which is fine. Bees was down. I'm like, why didn't you just bees this? Werewolf is, of course, going to end up powering down this turn. That's why Potenza is willing to do this, because even with the Gonzo, presumably this Ginsting survives. But interestingly enough, they are absolutely refusing to claim this panic point. Presumably Tickles will make its way up there, but... What does bad guy got for 7 keys? Ugh. Yeah, to be honest, I don't think Rusty needs the damage anymore. What's bad guy doing? I think they're trying to get whatever their big finisher is. Like, their queen, they want to bank up to it. It clearly costs 9 keys. I mean, I guess it could have cost 8, but, like, it's probably a 9 key. Instead, they're giving up this Hevo, or seemingly giving up this Hevo. Is it dead? Might not be dead. Did the werewolf attack? I don't know if the werewolf attacked. But regardless, like, this is not going to be enough damage. The only thing you could do is leave the Hevo to trade for the Ginsting, and then maybe run away. Because that is a big angry werewolf right there. Really, we're going to go for it. Do you need the Gonzo to kill the Ginsting? That's a feels bad man moment. Yeah, I don't like this line. The thing is that... So, because bad guy took that turn off to bank for this Hevo, it needed... Like, that gave our hero a window to get this set up. Now, are they feeling great right now? Probably not, because that Hevo... At least the Gonzo's down, though. But you might be able to kill the Hevo 1.0 and the Gonzo. Like, that might not be impossible. Gonzo down. Evo down. Brony! Potenza loves him some Brony now. You will get some juicy Hevo hits, but without a buff, like, I don't want to say this is bad, but, like, it's obviously not as good as it could be. Boom. Boom. That's a level 19 Hevo 3.0, by the way. Hashtag just putting it out there. Dueling bronies? I mean... This is very weird. Obviously, bad guy's brony is in a significantly better position because... Although the brony will go through the bodies, like, you can't body block the brony LOS, which I've always felt that you probably should be able to, but it can't reach the Hevo, which is really the big thing. Like, the Hevo is what you care about. So we do get a power down here. We do get a big, nasty, noxious hit. Werewolf claiming the life of the boom. The problem is, like, they can brony. Yeah, you brony here. And then the Hevo is untouched. Werewolf goes down. Just because we can. Just because we can. Oh, notably, Tickles didn't get hit. Hey, Potenzia remembered that they do have a banning point up there. Believe it or not, they do exist. It's like the M&Ms and Santa Claus. Grimes, because reasons. I mean, to be honest, the Grimes isn't bad here, because this is going to take poison damage unless it completely runs. Like, you are going to be able to harvest that. Grimes? That sounds weird. I don't know about Grimes. That sounds uncomfortable. Alright, so Hevo got the one big hit, then it killed the werewolf. Multitasking right now? Dude, Potenzia. Baby, what is you doing? Tickles. No! Not the Tickles. Every time people ask me my favorite phobie, I think from now on I'm going to say Tickles. Tickles is just hilarious to me. You learned how to play this map thanks to watching gameplay and you guys? I mean, a lot of this map, I think the most common strats are just 3 Rangers and putting mechs on the disease tiles. What does Bad Guy even have left? How did Bad Guy end up losing so many phobies? Like, it feels like they shouldn't have lost as many phobies. This Brony's gonna go off again. Grimes up to 798 damage. I do like the Brony body block here, just to make the movement from the Hevo that much more awkward. I mean, aside from the fact that, of course, you, the panic point claims, but... For all those people out there that complain every time they see Hevo 3.0, this would be a good match to observe. Excuse me. Currently on an arena match on this map, I'd be plaid with Blasto. I mean, if there's a mech that's going to tank it, it's going to be Blasto. A lot of damage from this Hevo. That's a lot of panic point damage as well. And that's also some Phobies surviving. Well played there, Potenzia. Well played. The Dueling Bronies. Trouble in My Little Ponyland. That should probably be the thumbnail. Not gonna lie, 3.0 ain't that scary. Honestly, I've always felt 3.0 is one of the more overrated phobies. Don't get me wrong, like 3.0 is very, very good. But the thing is that I think that people are way more scared of it than they really need to be. Alright, we're coming back to Coin to Me. It is Cotter as our hero. I had to avenge Jinsting. His sacrifice couldn't be in vain. Very dramatic. Very dramatic. Let's see how dramatic it is. It's only scary because, oh no, full AoE splash with fire tiles? Well, yes, that's what it does. Like, it's only scary because it does an enormous amount of damage to your entire team. Like that... I mean, yes. Reading the card explains the card. My brother in Christ erratic eats it. I mean, it does, but, like, it is a lob. Like, I think, while I agree that, in general, 3.0 is probably overrated simply because people put it in, like, God tier status, and I don't think it's there, I think you're underselling it a little bit. I think you're underselling the power level here. Yo, we get a droney kill on Maggie. I mean, it needed some help, but... Is there enough damage between Cowbell, Snowball, and Droney to kill this Snowball? I'm not actually going to check. I'm not actually going to check, but I am curious. We're going to find out. 4-1 panic point advantage. Bad guy. Alright, looks like our hero, either they can't do it or they didn't see the play. Odds are they can't do it. I mean, it's probably like 250 or, you know, it's like 200 and change, and then, like, Cowbell's 300 or so. Like, it's probably not enough damage. Wait, does Ginsting just die here? Oh, no, not like this. Wait. Oh, no, not like this. No! Oh, no! 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 Oh, that hurts so bad. No, you can't do that. No, no. No, you can't do that. I wonder when our hero... Like, they obviously was in the notes about the Ginsting. But, like... I want to know at what point did you realize... Like, did you end turn and go, oh, no? Or did you, like, nah, this'll live. There's no way they can kill it. And it's like, well, I don't know. I think they got it. You know, laughage on there. Droney. No. And the trapped Snowball. We're throwing away Phobies. I mean, don't get me wrong. I completely understand going in the tank after something like that happens, where it's just like, how could I have done that? I've definitely had those plays in tons of games. Tons of games. Phobies and otherwise. Like, tons of Phobies games as well as tons of other games besides Phobies. What? Why did that happen? Also, what is this? The all melee challenge? What is happening right now? Dude, why? Cotter, seriously, what? It's possible that Cotter doesn't have Cassowary. Otherwise, yes, I would agree. Cassowary is just, it's better. It does everything that Primate does for 2 keys cheaper. They literally have the same damage output, which is... When I realized that, it was a long time ago, but like when I realized that, it was like, dude, that's not right. That's just not right. Oh no, we don't even trade the snowballs here. This is looking bad. It was briefly a panic point advantage for our hero. Squiggles laying the beats. I don't know if that's... I mean, I guess it is. What is Bad Guy banking to? Did they have 7 Phobies out? Why do they have 14 keys? Oh. Taking our life in our hands here. Admittedly, more HP than the Ginsting, and they don't have as many tools necessarily available, but they do have 14 keys. So this... Like, okay, so here's the real question. Why the moly bully there instead of the Contortio. The Moly Bully, yes, the Moly Bully can burrow under the obstacle, whereas the Contortio has to go around, but, like, you just lost the Ginsting a couple turns ago. Little Speedola action. Most notably known for their shenanigans on Diabolical, but probably works here too. Ooh, I like the aggression with the baby Snakey. Despite the disease, I do like this play. You get the snipe there. The disease is generally trivial on these maps, so that's pretty cool. Dude, is this the all melee challenge? What is happening? Did you put... You 100% went, oh, I lost my Ginsting? Never. Never again another ranged. Ever. Ranged is dead to me. Dead to me. Or ignore the shish kebab on Snowball. But, like... What? Why is this the all melee challenge? Honestly, I do think that one of the new phobies, like, we have Conductor, which now interacts with undeads. So you could make an argument that from the beginning of the game, that there were, you know, you had electricals that interacted with mechs. You had disease and poison phobies that interacted with dimensionals and to a lesser degree undead. Really only electricals directly said, hey, I do this to this type of phobie. But I do want something that just straight up buffs all melee phobies across the board, like Jackalope King kind of buff. Where it's like, while it's out, all your melee phobies get XYZ. I think that would be kind of cool, because for the most part, melee phobies suck. Nobody posted a link. It's just, the bot literally reminds people that links will be deleted. Because otherwise people post links because they don't pay attention. Ooh, bad guys trying to race here. That's a 4-2 panic point advantage, though. Our hero can get at least 2 phobies onto the heart this turn. Claim one of the panic points. 1, 2... Is the Canine gonna... Okay, Canine's gonna go there and not claim the panic point, because the... Yeah, the Wiggy or the Thunder Rocks can follow up, but the Thunder Rocks looks like it... Yeah, it's gonna come in here. Body blocks for both the Moly, as well as threatening the Motherlode. Yeah, this game is over. Despite the early losses, like, I don't... This one was weird. Not only is it 100% melee phobies, bad guy just kind of did nothing. Like, they had 14 keys at one point. They had 14 keys banked and felt like they had... Like, the loss of the Ginsting... Clearly, you can win if you lose 4 keys, right? I mean, obviously, we're witnessing it. But losing 4 keys isn't necessarily that big of a deal. It's when you lose them is the problem. Like, the tempo loss for these things. They only got 14 keys because they had 7 phobies out. Yeah, I mean, they had to free up the space, but, like, their reinforcements should have been overwhelming at that point. Because it's very much, like, that's the Alien Engineer plan, right? Bad guy making an effort, but I mean... Actually, no panic point advantage. It's stable, but K9's on the heart. Our hero could hypothetically claim 2 panic points this turn. And it looks like that's what they're going to do. Moly Bully Burrow. Interesting. Bad guy with 315 health left on the heart. Able to kill 1, but cannot kill all. GG. Well done, Cotter. Well done. Avenge the ginseng. Give me 1 second, chat. The Bean of Evil. Coming at you here on Diabolical. Ferocious Frosty freezes 4 foes. You know, I appreciate the effort for the alliteration there. I mean, it probably wasn't too difficult to generate that, but I appreciate the alliteration in the match notes. Frosty, I think... I mean, Plaid might be the most powerful deal phobia. I don't know what to call them. But I think Frosty might be the most interesting. I really do like Bloms, and I think they are like the idea of a bishop as opposed to a queen in Phobies, I think is really cool. And it has to be like, there's no real functional difference between bishops and rooks in Phobies because the way the hexagons work. I guess they could have something that, like... Is there a way to do that? I'm trying to think, like, imagine a leapfrog kind of thing. Where it's like, you can go diagonal so it hits... Like, you skip the 2 adjacent hexes and then you hit the one that's over, but that would be very difficult to end up explaining. But, whatever. Either way, we're getting Gravediggers early on. Makes sense on this map. Getting the breaks, similar places. Hevo with the boop. This notably prevents a potential kill on the cat. It also prevents damage onto the Hevo 2.0. If bad guy wants to go and, like, advance their Hevo onto the stim, it's just going to die. So, like, I like this. I mean... Alright, let's run it. Let's run it. We got a little Scritch action, chat. Why not? Scritch, I wonder if Scritch deserves a buff or not. Or do Gonzo and Cupcake deserve further nerfs? Ooh, that was a good catch there with the tickles on the Poison Ivy trap. Good heads up play. I will say it's funny. Cars said that they really enjoy it when I make funny faces when people do something weird. So I'm going to have to, like, get a screenshot of it so I can turn it into an emote or something. I gotta make more emotes, chat. My emote game has been slacking. 6 Phobies to 5. 9 invested in the Frosty. Alright. You love to see it. Frosty is actually pretty sick. Like I was saying earlier, I like the Bloms. I think that they're a good addition to the game. Like, they're healthy for the game because they can be very powerful, but they reward setting up plays, and it rewards your opponent for playing around it. You know, a lot of people complain about the Kleptos and the Hevo 3.0s and stuff of the world because it's just blam, AoE. Like, you have to position, and it on some maps is verging on impossible. While it's probably impossible to forever dodge a Blom, it does allow you, as the other player, a lot of opportunities to have counterplay. And I think that's healthy. That's why I like them so much, because they can be so big, so powerful, so splashy, but they do allow for counterplay. As compared to this guy, who doesn't allow for a lot of counterplay. Bad guy did attempt with Puff, and the Puff Scritch combo is cool. That's a Woolly Bully onto... I don't even know why the Woolly Bully showed up, to be perfectly honest. And on Hevo 2.0 is not great because it's like... That's not the big damage dealer. This is... Oh, I thought they were going to put the cowbell there. Well, they can't... So, because... Like, this is the Akira nerf in action. If bad guy positioned like this... I don't know why they put the Gravedigger there, but... If bad guy position like that with old Akira, they just lose on the spot here. Instead, they're going to have an opportunity. So all our hero has to do is not get blown out on this next turn. This is the problem I still have with Akira, is like, I don't know what bad guy's plan could be here. They could try and push aggressively, but they just lose. So the question is, should they have been more aggressive earlier in the game and then they wouldn't have ended up in this position to get blown out by Akira? Maybe? That doesn't... I don't know. I don't know. So they're going to try and desperately avoid this. I'm not confident that... I'm trying to see here. So you end up there, you could go there. Oh, the big displacement. Are we gonna pull him back in? That would be sick. It would have been sick if it was like the push into the pole just to make the positioning different. But instead, our hero's able to just... They have more and better push buttons to push. It's like you have a trapper, you have a power down that's down, you have a bomb, and you have a buff. But I have 2 displacement tools, an AoE tool, and a line attack. Like, and the phobies they're attached to are generally better. Here's the other hilarious thing. Because bad guy has not been sacrificing their cowbell, they're still maxed out. So if Bean can just set up, like, you just set up 1 crippling turn, and despite their 9 keys, the game is going to end. Looks like here it is. Ooh! This is what you had to do. You just had to connect with the puff. Oh, you love to see it. Ooh! Look at that poison hit. Get wrecked. You know, that's a sick play. Like, that's a sick play. You got to show some love for that one. What's crazy here, like, one of the craziest parts of this is, like I said, now our hero can just destroy their team with relative impunity. And bad guy can't even, like, okay, so they got 1. What did they kill? What died on that turn? The Gravedigger? I wonder if the Gravedigger had to die. I guess it did. So, because otherwise, where I was going with it is that, like, they don't have access to those 9 keys. But either way, you got double electricals, that Hevo and Cowbell, of course, dead. You got AoE coming down from the Akira. It's a bad day to be wearing the orange pants today. I actually like that. Like, just cleaning stuff up. This gives you the juice stim hit here. A very efficient turn. Very efficient and well-calculated turn out of Bean here. Just cleaning everything up. 1 more key. We'll drop it into AWOL because why not? Was there an Akira attack missed here? Maybe it hit the Poison Ivy. Yeah, you gotta love the big... This is why, I mean... It's kind of a defense for Akira. Of like, oh, look at this cool play that it's set up. The problem is that singular cool play, A, like... What was bad guy supposed to do? Other than not get into that position. Like, I don't... Once they hit that stage, I don't know if there was much counterplay that could have happened. But, is it worth Akira existing to allow for those plays to possibly happen? I don't know. Because there's tons of Akira plays where we just watch Akira do absolutely ridiculous things, and it's like, it didn't matter that your opponent did anything. And yeah, I know Akira's worse now, but I don't know. I'm not... Still not thrilled with it. Despite the fact that it set up a really sick play here. I mean, realistically, if you had Rambolina or something, you would, or even a tractor, like, maybe a tractor can set that up, or probably not. Rambolina would probably never be able to get something set up like that. Like, it's just never going to happen. It would just, your opponent would either be able to play around it, or it'd be like such an edge case that it's like they lost anyway. So, in order for this to happen, it kind of has to be Akira. So, I don't know. I wonder if they'll ever do stuff like it, and I don't think they would do this for Akira, but I wonder if it could ever happen of you can't use this ability unless you have XYZ. So like you have another 9 key or something like that. I mean, it kind of exists in the sense of jackalopes and stuff like that. You don't get the full effect unless you have other things, but it'd be a little different if it explicitly required like arbitrary other thing. How'd Akira get worse? They nerfed it. They nerfed it 2 patches ago? No, was it last patch? Yeah, it was last patch. It's a while ago now, so I don't remember. Yeah, because it was the anniversary stuff. People have been clamoring for it for quite some time by that point. People are clamoring for more nerfs, too. Okay, so I don't understand what Noobsim is trying to say here. Because, so in the spreadsheet, it says in-game name, like your name, Noobsim. Opponent's name. Kiho, Renko. Which of these games am I supposed to look at? Now, it does have a date which indicates the 27th, but a lot of people, because of, I assume, time zones, they'll put the wrong date. Like, I've had that before. Let me just see if there's, like... Well, we can't go back to the 20... Yeah, there's nothing for the 20... So I'm going to assume it's this one. I'm going to assume it's this one, because they're both favorited. But this has a trapper in it. I don't know which game it's supposed to be. I don't know which game it's supposed to be. I'm going to look at this one. We'll see if there's any traps in it. If there's no trap phobies in this game, then it's quite clearly the other one. But, like, they put both people's name, and it's not hyphenated or something. It's just combined. All right, it's probably not this one, right? All right, so the notes on this game are just traps. So, we'll see what Noobsim's got in store. Because, if you didn't watch the earlier part for this, and it'll depend on where I put the marker for the game. I'll probably forget when I go to edit. But they put two of their opponents' names in the opponent's name field. So I don't know which opponent they meant, but I'm going to guess this one. Mostly because we looked at the other game and it didn't seem to fit what was being described. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Chad, I got 3 toys. I got a G.I. Joe, I got a Transformer, and a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toy. It's like my entire childhood. Got Snarl. He's the Stegosaurus Dinobot Studio Series, so they're much, much larger. How do I like my bacon? Crispy. I don't know if you count bacon as like... Like, do you describe bacon as well done? I don't want it burnt. I mean, I'll eat it burnt, but... I don't like chewy bacon. Alright, so we do have 2 trappers, so I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that our hero, Noobsim, this is what you indicated by traps. How crispy do you like your... I mean... I don't feel like there's many levels to crispy. Like, it's either crunchy or it's not. You know what I mean? It's got to have a snap to it. Because once you go beyond crispy, it's now like, okay, it's either burnt or it's not. Like, those are the... At that point, those are the options. All right, this is a fairly obvious trap, but we do get a microscopic here to guard the panic point, which is interesting. This microscopic should just be dead, right? If bad guy wants it, but they probably shouldn't. Because what I was going to say is they could go in with the Quagmire and the Inoculus, but then it's a triple panic point advantage. Once again, if this was not a boomer, that could have literally threatened the heart, but nope. Microscopic. I'm telling you, every time I see the post in the main Discord that's like, there should be virus phobies, the thread is actually talking about, like, a computer virus, like malware. But every time I see it, my first thought is, we already have Gesundheit microscopic. Do we really need another? I mean, I guess we could get a third just so that we have the trifecta, but... And it is erratic. 2-to-1 panic point advantage... This is a lot of traps, I'm not going to lie. It is a lot of traps. Ted going in, going to sacrifice his life for the team. This is very weird. Like, this is bizarre boss positioning, because unless you think there's a trap in between the Abyss Tile and Inoculus, why would you put boss here? Why would you not move it up one? Because then it could move up and possibly threaten a You're Fired on Microscopic and Corn. If you're worried about them, like, coming after you, they're walking into range where they're going to get clobbered by Boss, Inoculus, and probably Quagmire. I don't know. I don't like this. Maybe they ran out of time, but then they did other stuff afterwards. I don't know. Down goes Ted. This is an enormous amount of traps. Dude, there's so many traps. Wow, Baba Yaga's not live? Should we start calling Baba Yaga John Wick? You know, I've never actually seen that movie, chat. I do own it because I was randomly in... This was a long time ago. But, like, I was randomly in Walmart, and I'm like, you know, I'll look at the cheap movie section, and John Wick was there, and I'm like, I've never seen this, but I've heard so much about it, so I bought it, and I just still haven't watched it. Bad guy under a lot of heart pressure, not a lot of health left. They gotta do something soon. I don't understand why this happened. Like, could they not have... Well, they wouldn't have claimed the point if they had body blocked with the tickles. Baba Yaga, low-key, one of the best trappers. I don't know that it... Yeah, but, like... Even, let's assume that's true, that Baba Yaga is one of the best trappers. And I think there's an argument for that. You're not going to go... Bad guy's playing this too patient. At this point, you've already lost. There's way too many traps. Even if you accept that Baba Yaga is one of the best trappers, I think that says more about the trap phobies than it does Baba Yaga. Like, I like Baba Yaga because it is an AoE trap as compared to a lot of the other ones, where it's kind of trivial to avoid, or they'll go off when it's irrelevant. But, like, clearly, Fire Ant is the best one, right? Followed by probably Poison Ivy and then Steve's. Then Baba Yaga. I mean, you could say Unicorn's up there, but I don't know that Unicorn is... Like, is Unicorn the best trapper because of the trap? No. I think Unicorn is the best trapper because it's just the combination of the tools. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It feels like putting Unicorn as the best trapper, air quotes, or one of the best trappers, feels like cheating. Because it's like, it's not really. It's more just that it's a 2-key turret that's kind of tanky and also has features of trap. I don't know. It's more the whole package, I guess. But in that case, it would probably be Unicorn, then Fire Ant, then Poison Ivy, then Baba Yaga, then Steve's, maybe Steve's is better than Baba Yaga. Then Venus? Then Leela? Maybe Leela before Venus after the buff. What are the other ones? Is there another one? I feel like I'm forgetting one. Oh, I thought it was another trap. Quagmire down. Bad guy in shambles. How often do you see Clinico on a healing spa? Like, that is a rarity. Also, for the record, while there were a million traps, only like 2 of them mattered. Because, like, these traps back here by the heart are not going to play into things. The new Leela remake, is she a trapper? Who, Cecilia? The one that removes tiles? No. I mean, you can see the tiles, so I don't think that counts. It's just clearly not a trap. I don't know. Is there another trapper? We don't have another fire trap. We don't have another ice trap. We already have the disease. Maybe there isn't. This turned out to be a much tighter game than I thought it was going to be. Because I thought our hero was, like, light years ahead of bad guy. But it turns out that actually bad guy kind of made it close. Kind of. Not really, because I guess they didn't really have a functional way to get rid of the erratic at that point. But GG. All right, we got a game here from Dama, Biff's room. Funny game against Angel's World from Phobies Discord. So I guess shout out to Bad Guy. I don't know, was this Frenemies? This might have been a Frenemies game. We're looking at some level 1 action. I mean, it had to be a Frenemies game. It had to be a Frenemies game. I wonder who's next. Like, the list goes in chronological. Like, I'm going top to bottom. Unless somebody subs or like donates bits or something, I'm just going in chronological order. Like, subs get priority to make sure we get their games in, sort of thing, but like, that's it. Otherwise, the most fair way is just when you submit a game. Yeah, the bits donation, I haven't mentioned in a while, but like the bits donation and the subscriber goal still exist. The subscriber goal for my formal stream, where I'll wear my suit on stream, and then the bits donation is for upgrading Tournibot for a month. So that way we can do 16-person tournaments. I've talked about it before. Wait, why did this just happen? What? I guess you traded 2 for 1. Like, no, that is not a good trade. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all, but our hero does have 6 keys banked. Kerbloom? The bad guy is doing their best Onda impression here, I guess. Does this stabby not just die here? Meatball is down, Leap is down, so maybe it doesn't, but like... Cassowary looks so weird. 800. So this is a dead stabby. Huh. Boom. Okay. I guess we are doing the pretend to be Onda plan. Although Onda doesn't really do all 3 of them in the same game. Onda just sets up like cool boom and Kabloom, Herbloom, and Kaboom plays. Alright, Cassowary goes down, so it definitely makes the trade negative for bad guy there, because it's 4 keys for 3. But, and the Kaboom is just kind of in a terrible position. I don't know why, like, it was here. Yeah, so there was no way to protect the Kaboom coming around the top. The Klepto would have always killed it. We get a Shove Shark here. Obviously have... See, this is the problem with doing cute things like this, is now you have to babysit this Kaboom. Hero bank it up to 6. Is the... Yeah, it's damage. I was going to say, maybe the Murder Wing could just claim the point. Here's a Halfy. Kars was asking me why I hate Halfy. Like, for the record, hyperbole is funnier, so I hyperbolize everything. But, like, I really don't think Halfy is very good. I think Halfy is a very mediocre phobie. It's fine for what it is. But I don't think Halfy's really that good. Same for Bloat, but people also have this weird boner for Bloat. Brony. I never noticed these, like, freckles on Brony. You know, like the dots on its hip and thigh, and then the one on its chest. I don't know if foul is how you want to answer Brony, but alright. Because honestly, like, okay, you disease the Brony, but who cares? Boop. Creepy ass foul. So this doesn't seem bad for our hero, as long as they can get something. I don't like this. That seems unnecessary. You might... Okay, so the plan here is to kill Halfy, probably. Then you turn off your own Bloat, which kind of sucks, but you're not necessarily in a rush. Oh, really? Okay, I was expecting the Brony to go off. Because now Foul is going to live to disease another day. I mean, I guess it was going to no matter what. You're only 3 levels from getting Foul. Foul is alright. Like, I think Foul is... I think it's probably rated appropriately by the community. Like, it's not great. It's fine. It has its uses. The biggest thing about Foul is that it represents such an enormous amount of damage via just attacking. Like, you don't have to disease something. Brony claiming the panic. I mean, this is over now because you have a triple panic point advantage. You're in range. I don't love putting the, okay, that's fine. Oh, you don't cap it. That sucks. But the Bloat does body block so that the Murder Wing doesn't get an easy kill onto the jar. It needs the Shove Shark, which I guess doesn't really matter. Because it's like, that was always there. Now we get a triple panic point advantage. Alright, cleaning out the Murder Wing is fine. But yeah, bad guy probably cannot defend here. Down goes Klepto, but you don't have enough time to reclaim these panic points and body block out the Bloat. GG! Very weird game. Very weird game due to the triple boom family, but I mean, take what you can get. I really just want to play till I get Akira. Akira is kind of a big deal. Akira is kind of a big deal. It's a big deal. All right, we got a little pinapple action coming back to Diabolical, a clean game involving a newly obtained and underleveled ultra rare. Ooh, leaving us in a little bit of suspense here as pinapple. Rocking the Bo Mangles avatar, very fitting since I'll probably be playing Killer Clowns from Outer Space tomorrow. It's a Dead by Daylight style game, 3 clowns versus 7 humans. Humans got to escape, clowns got to murderize the humans. Turn them into cotton candy, specifically. Well, ideally. Enact the clown-pocalypse, as it were. Notably, no Gravedigger out of either of our players. Seems sus. The other new toy I got, chat, is Big Boa. The, Cobra Endurance Instructor. He comes with a different head, where he kind of looks like Sylvester Stallone. Also, why is there a Stairmaster? We were just talking about this offline today. He comes with 2 90-pound dumbbells and some boxing gloves, which is kind of cool. The only thing he doesn't come with that I remember the old toy that I had coming with is he had a like a speed bag. Some of the G.I. Joe characters are just super silly. Like, this is just it's literally a boxing instructor. And the guy, like, the head they gave, it doesn't look exactly like Sylvester Stallone, but it reminds me of Sylvester Stallone in Rocky. What is going on in this game? That is all you need to know about Stairmaster. Look, I defend Stairmaster a lot, but that was just bad. Like, that was not good. That was bad. So the laugh that was happening offline was Karstead posted a picture side by side of Stairmaster versus Hercules. And, like, I don't like comparing Phobies in that way, because obviously Hercules is going to be better. There's a non-trivial cost for getting to 7 keys versus, air quotes, only 5. On a small map, it's 2 turns versus 3. Like, 3 turns is a long time. So it better be worth it. Like, the Phobies should, maybe not exponentially better, but it shouldn't be linear. The power level increasing as key cost goes up. The higher level Phobies should be notably better, because they have to make up for that tempo loss. Plus, there's also the argument that, is Stairmaster plus Cassowary better or worse than Hercules? Now, I think today, Stairmaster is worse. Stairmaster and Cassowary is worse than Hercules, because Stairmaster is so anemic. Like, I think it's fine to have Stairmaster be vanilla. I think it probably just needs a health buff, but the problem is that it's clearly supposed to have a relationship to Cyclops, where Cyclops is the slightly tankier, but does less damage phobie, whereas Stairmaster is the glass cannon. The issue is that you can't, if you buff Stairmaster, you obsolete Cyclops. Now, does that really matter in the grand scheme? I don't know. You're kind of trading places then, because right now only Cyclops gets used. Maybe that means both of them need a buff. But this is one of those that I just don't care about. Like, if people think it should get changed, fine. I'm not really going to, like, lose any sleep over it. I don't know what Bad Guy's plan was here, for the record. But, like, they just got bodied by that Blasto. Like, did anybody else see that? Did you see that panic point? Hold on. Watch this northern panic point. I bet it won't do it again. Because usually, like, the visual bugs don't happen twice. We just get to watch Blasto go absolutely ham. I was going to question why this Daisy didn't step on the bones, but Droney, the bane of all Resurrect Phobies. Yeah, it didn't do it. No, it's doing it again. Look. It's flashing like an NES or arcade bad guy. Which is interesting to note that in the background, that must mean that Charon technically activates the panic points and then the mud applies, maybe? But either way, bad guys standing their ground. One would argue foolishly, but there is a droney. Returning the favor. Opinion on the possibility of a G.I. Joe Transformers for the next Nightverse Transformers movie? I'm pretty sure they already said that's happening. Although I think it's going to be an animated movie. Like, I am 100% Blom. I'm 100% Blom. Purely Blom at this stage of my life, chat. I'm basically 100% sure there's going to be a crossover movie. I'm pretty sure they literally said that. I just don't remember which one it's going to be. I haven't even watched Rise of the Beast, chat. I do kind of want to see it. I just don't watch movies. And I mean, with Transformers, it's because I had a very unfortunate relationship due to the Transformers TCG. Like, the people that were so scummy in that game literally ruined Transformers for me for like 4 years. I'm only just now, like, kind of getting out of the funk with it. It goes to show you, like, how important community can be. As somebody who, like, consciously avoids trying to be involved in the community, air quotes, in virtually anything that I'm involved in because of stuff like that, even despite those efforts, it still pissed me off so much that, like, I couldn't even think about, like, it ruined Transformers for me for, like, 4 years. Blah, gotta love the goon. The goon! Whose arm is Goon using as a hockey stick? I wonder if we'll get, like, a second Goon, like a partner Goon, that is missing an arm. And it's like, this is clearly... Like, what if we got an undead referee? There's not really much else to say for this game. Like, I feel like Bad Guy just walked into a few different things. Not to crap on our hero's parade, but, like... Favorite Transformers movie? Yeah, of course it's the 86 one. It is the best one! First of all, the Michael Bay ones are far and away... Like, they're bad. They're real bad. Now, admittedly, like I said, I haven't seen the... I haven't seen Rise of the Beast. I didn't even watch some of the later Michael Bay ones because they're just so bad. Bad guy, or hero rather, taking over the whole map. Bad guy, I don't know what they're doing. They apparently run away for a couple turns because why they don't sacrifice their phobie this turn, I don't know. Unless our hero decides that they just don't want to end it, which, please, stop running away. It's end games. I guess they do get a takedown here, so they... This is the entire... I hate repeating the same arguments. But realistically, they need to fix these systems. They need to... There is no reason to not just have... I don't even know what the original justification would be on why they would not just be like, oh, you lost. Like, this is clearly, there's no way Bad Guy can win, right? Like, it is just not possible, and that's been obvious for a few turns. Why are they going out of their way to discourage surrendering? It's fine. Are there games that people could win, that they would surrender, that they will never realize that they could have won? Yes. My argument is, add up all the time that we save by just allowing people to surrender, and you just giving them a set amount of points and currency and stuff, and everyone's better off. Everything after the 2006 Transformers movie. Well, you know that the first live-action one didn't come out until 2007, right? Watch Game of My Submissions? We don't really do that on viewer game nights. I go in order. I don't do the points. Where's the thing? Why is it? There it is. We'll refund the points. I mean, we might get there. I don't know. Let's see. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you're the 10th game, unless I miscounted.
Bees!
You'll be in there. Bees. There was a time when everybody spammed bees. Nobody really does it anymore. I don't know. Guess it got old. Great Ginger Gabe, my very scary opponent didn't seem to believe in the power of friendship. Everybody's pouring out their hidden illicit love for My Little Pony, I guess. Didn't know, yeah, you can refund stuff on Twitch if people, like the streamer or a mod has to refund it. All right, bad guy. 1 key into Ray Chargels. This feels like a practice counter to expecting the Innocuous play. This feels like, although to be honest, like, good. So if you went here, 1, 2, they would have to fly to here. 1,000. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say, like, you could have baited the Ray to come in and killed it, but your Innocuous would have died, so I don't even know if you would have killed it, and that obviously wouldn't have been worth it. Whereas this probably... Yeah, they can't get it anyway. I was gonna say, if they went up here, you could probably get it, but they can't get to the Innocuous anyway. Where all my yappers at? You're watching one of them. Ah, my wrist. Somebody's pinging me in Discord. That is a Chuck. Honestly, I don't know. I was trying to force high five. I don't really... Like, I know the end state and I know the early game for the high five plan on this map, but I don't really remember the, like the mid game for it. All right, so we got the full wall to protect Innocuous there. I don't know about the TED. I don't know about the TED. Let's take a peek here. That's a level 21 Chuck. Oh my god. Oh, all right. This is what we call a level deficit. This is what we call a game that probably shouldn't happen. I don't go high five here. I do Phantom Serb. I mean, that's fine. Cupcake. All right, bad guy is like all in on the I hate fun plan. Oh no. Like a Kool-Aid commercial. Quagmire will eventually get back up to full strength, but that Chuck Cupcake combo is going to be threatening for a while, and now it's threatening literally the heart. That seems pointless. I don't think there's any way our hero could have killed... actually, no. Okay. 510, 530. Literally needed 3 more HP and would have been fine. Gonzo Cupcake. That is a bold move, Cotton. Brody! I mean, this is a way to answer it. I'm not gonna lie. Bad guy is going to be able to kill probably one thing. What are they going to choose? They actually could not have killed the Brony. It was 1182? Wait. 1182, 22, and then 164? They could have killed the Brony, right? Never do math on stream. It would have been 2364, right? So they could have sniped the Brony. I get why they didn't, because there's this threat of, like, 25, so this would have been 1,000. This could have hit, and that, so it would have been... Like, the Chuck would have died, right? Because they... I don't think they had enough damage to kill the Brony and something else. So I understand why they did this. However, they're about to get 3/4 of their team turned off. And you're down triple panic points on this map. Like, that's a lot of potential damage coming at you very quickly. Because clearly the Quagmire doesn't need to move. It's going to heal up. The Chuck, or the, the Ted is not going to die. And now this Spud is going to be in range. This damage adds up real quick. Honest, could you or should you have... If you left the Chuck just dies. And clearly that's bad guy's entire plan. Yeah, they just don't let your whole team get bronied. It's that simple, chat. Just don't let your whole team get bronied. Very well played, Gabe. Very well played. Like, that is pretty spooky scary, I'm not gonna lie. And it definitely has the feeling of, wait, does this work? I don't know what sequence this happens. Oh, it does work! Huh. That's something to keep in the back of your head. Apparently, Resurrect happens later in the turn sequence than the conveyor tiles. I don't know if that's come up before. Pop goes the bad guy heart. Bad guy's team does come back online, but, what are they at? Also, look... That just looks gross. You need to go to a doctor and get that checked out. Like, hold on. Where's the... Oh, there it is. I might use this as the... for the thumbnail. Like, that's gross. You should get that checked out. You should definitely go to a doctor and get that checked out. You shouldn't have that kind of discharge coming out of your ears. Or anywhere, for that matter. Like, if that's happening, you need to see a doctor. I would. Bad guy, GG. I guess I got a little sunburnt today, Chad. It's kind of see it on my arms. GG. All right, what is this? All right, let's see what we got next. Nope. Right, we got an Urk game with a repeat bad guy. Interestingly enough, from two different players. I mean, this has come up before, but usually it's somebody like Karth or Hopeloy, and it's like, look at what I did to manage to overcome the huge level deficit or something. I'm not familiar with bad guys, so Interestingly enough, 2 different people submitting games. Blood used every shenanigan possible, but it didn't matter. Okay, then. It's getting hot over here in Cali. Yeah, it is that time of year. Summer sucks. Winter is better. There are lots of reasons why. No, I will not elaborate. If you like summer, you're wrong. If you like summer, you're wrong. So, Urk with a very passive game plan, going first, notably not getting Snowball on this map. It's something that I typically do, which, I mean, I've been kind of out of practice for a very long time at this stage. Summer is mid. I absolutely hate spring. You and me both. My wife is the opposite. She's very much a summer person. Oh, Urk, are we doing... Urk, are you going to do it to him? Urk is, a little gargoyle action, I think. I think Urk might be setting up a little gargoylage. That's a smiley, though. Very early response from Bad Guy to address the Chuck. After we just watched Chuck throw a game. Maybe not throw, but Chuck did go down. There you go, chat. We knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. How did we know it was coming? Well, Urk has talked about this on many occasions before. The whole game plan here, for those not familiar, is you want to use potentially Terraform and Gargles, but Gargles works just locking down the mid here. That allows you to get the Chuck to just shell safely. So we're actually getting Ice Cream as one of the potential answers. Shove Shark, of course, supplements this strategy very well, getting that Chuck's fat ass moving all over the map to places that he probably would never reach otherwise. But Bo Mangle's notably already on the board. Maybe Chuck, or Urk has had this Chuck plan. Having seen enough of these Smiley plays, now preemptively does this. Because you could easily go, oh, well, I'll just go Stabby. But Stabby's not the answer you want to Smiley, whereas Bo Mangle's kind of is. So, makes sense. But we're getting the Akira as a response from Bad Guy. Nothing for Chuck to shell. We're just going to kind of wait it out here. Hydra. That is a bold move there, Cotton. Is it just me, or does Gargoyle look like it has its hands in its pockets? Doesn't it look like he's got his hands in his pockets? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. 7th Phobie. Little Klepto action. Gargoyle has pockets? Obviously. Where else is he putting his hands? 4-1 panic point advantage for our hero. Akira is online. But the Akira yoink will... So it goes there. So Bad Guy could connect the Smiley to the Chuck. Hypothetically? Yeah, I think it'll work. But they needed to not do that. So what Bad Guy needed to do here, I think, is this. I think if Bad Guy... moves the Chuck to here, or the Akira, it'll pull the Smiley here. I think this goes here, this goes here, this goes here. Chuck ends up where the Ice Cream is, with this going here. And then you can go 1, 2, and you get both of these. Now, you possibly give up the Akira in the process, but you should be able to kill this. I don't think there's any way to get this. So, like, you'd lose the Akira, but isn't the entire point of this trading the Akira? Or maybe not, you don't want to trade, ideally, but, like, the Akira's there to help you get through this Chuck setup. We'll see what they do here anyway. Maybe they have a better line. Speaking of lines, this would be a great Blom setup. Obviously, the gargoyle is toast. That was wild. Like, you literally didn't have to do that. There was no way that that gargoyle is surviving that, and that means that you could have gotten a hit from the, Well, I guess it would have... They wanted to cap this point, so I guess that's why they had to do it. But either way, we get a recap here. Smiley is still there, and Smiley is going to connect with the Chuck. Unless, like... I mean, the Smiley's going to die. Does bad guy have enough time to just let the Smiley go to work? Ooh, we get a plaid. What level is this plaid? It's a level 12 plaid. It's pretty much on level for this game. Smiley does, in fact, connect with Chuck for 540 disease damage a turn. Remember, Chuck is going to leech life. Yo, the Shove Shark plays. The Shove Shark plays. Bad guy down to 1 key. Here's the problem. Like, you did connect with the Chuck, but it's so late in the game that, like, do you have time for this to matter? Oh no, Chuck got diseased. No! 0 keys to 1 key. The plaid is kind of scary, but if it goes in right now, it's possibly dead. No, it's almost certainly dead, because Chuck is in range, too. That's bold. Our hero with no fear. Come at me, bro. In fact, I will come at you. I don't love the Jin Sting positioning, but it's either Klepto or Hermetic Jin Sting would have gotten it, so I guess it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. It's also not going to die. Is Hydra gonna die? Yeah, Hydra's almost certainly dead, right? GG Hydra, no re. GG, no re. Alright. Does our hero have enough damage in the tank? Thunk. Wait, we're on the retreat. Boom. The freeze on the plaid! Wait, why did you move? I guess you had to move the Chuck to... Yeah, you had to move the Chuck to allow those other things to come through. The Chuck positioning would have been fine. It would have been preferable to still have it on the middle panic point, but, you know. Also get to avoid the second Akira pull. Things I didn't expect to happen in this game. Bees! 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 Thunk. Vlad's having a bad day. So is Jin Sting. Oh, Hematic specifically. Regular Jin Sting already had a bad day. And then it was Klepto and Akira versus the world. I mean, you can probably kill... Well, they might not be able to kill Bo. If this Bo lives... Nah, this Bo is dead. This Bo's got to be dead. Yeah, it's dead. The Akira is quite literally trapped. Notably, Diseased Chuck's still hanging on because what are they going to do? That's the thing. Like, Smiley does make sense in these scenarios to be the counter, to do certain things, but you have to consider the overall game state. And the Smiley connecting that late in the game, did it matter? Even with the play I was suggesting, would it have mattered? Probably not. GG. That would be the ball game, folks. That would be the ball game. Motherload connected 3 times with the AoE ability. Kind of silly. GG. The Gargles plan in action, chat. The Gargles plan in action. In before Karst complains that shouldn't be a thing. Yep, 10th game is PvZ. Might do a couple extra chats because we finished up pretty quickly. We finished up really quickly. I don't feel like these games are that short. I don't feel like these games are that short. Oh, come on, PvZ. Which one is it? Oh, it's this one. All right. Phantom vs. Phantom action, Revenge of the Sheep. So many parallels to our previous showdown, and I came out on top again. Oh, was this the other night when you were saying that you were playing the same person on the same map or something like that? I assume this is the one you were talking about. Yes, XD action. I think the coolest thing about Big Bo is this helmet. Like, the helmet just looks cool. I'm a sucker for face masks. Like, compared to... Like, I like the Dinobots. I like Snarl, right? Like, I like Snarl. But Grimlock looks way cooler because he doesn't have a face. He has a mask. And all this recent push for Optimus Prime to have, like, a face under his mask is dumb. Can't see the helmet well. Brightness moment. There you go. Like, it just looks sweet. I mean, it's kind of an off-white color, so, like, there's gonna be glare. Can't really do anything about it. Like, I guess I could do this. Block some of the glare. One of the sides. Big Bo is supposed to just be a big fucking dummy. Like, he literally just beats the crap out of the other Cobras. In order to train them. He's a bad guy, so, like, you don't expect him to be a nice guy, right? But anyway, back to the Phantom Mirror. Well, I'm curious how much longer we're going to have this iteration of Phantom. The community has definitely expressed their concern over and over again. And the devs have now demonstrated with the last balance patch that they do feel that there's actions that need to be taken and that they are willing to act upon both community feedback and do things when they're... I mean, we always knew that the balance patches were possible, but we went so long with that drought that I wonder if Phantom is going to have something enacted. Is Phantom going to cause something to happen? We'll have to see. So we get Phantom Blasto. I love that it has, like, the Wild West 6-shooter that shows up on here. Does it do something when you click on it? Turns his head, but that's because that's part of the animation cycle. There's the counter Phantom. Could plop the Hevo into range, but you probably don't want to do that because then they can Phantom, like, say, an erratic. An erratic... Oh, we're going to do it here. All right. Pop. Pop. Gravedigger off the stem. Ooh, you hate to see it. Alright, so the creep presumably is going to connect with the phantom, but, like, that's not going to do anything. Like, this doesn't matter if PvZ has any healers. They have room on the team right now, because they only have 6 Phobies out, so, like... Alright, you diseased... Congratulations, you played yourself. You get to disease the creep. Notably, our hero here could get aggressive with the Bachelor, like claim one of bad guy's points. That allows them to push in, but as mentioned, there is the erratic there for the Phantom play. But it's not enough damage. Like, this is a level 14 Blasto with 3,500 health right now. It's not going to kill it. The erratic, the erratic's not going to kill it even with the help that's on the board. So it's not a viable play for them just yet to just plop the erratic in there, because it's just going to die. And it may end up getting the Phantom killed in the process as well. Yeah, this makes sense. Just clearing stuff out. I don't know why bad guy killed that panic point. I guess so they can, like, put the Phantom up there, and that's a later time. I don't know. That just seems weird. Getting a counter displacement Moffat, I guess, to match the Shove Shark. But, yeah, panic point advantage hero. Key advantage hero by an enormous margin. Bad sheep. So hypothetically, the sheep can die due to Phantom and Yoink, but then bad guys opening themselves up to losing a ton of stuff. So... sure. Okay. The thing about burning that pole is our hero can now be more aggressive with their Phantom positioning. Or anything else for that. Oh, no. You don't even need the Phantom. Oh, my. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So bad guy can get a healer, but... Yo, that is not what you wanted to have happen. Look at this. Oh, baby. That's not good. That is not good. Revenge of the Sheep. Kind of looks like Vader. Imagine Darth Vader as a sheep. And apparently with digestive distress, we'll say. Darth Vader with intestinal distress. Yeah, I mean, yes, this is a resurrect phobia, so the disease isn't necessarily as impactful. I think it's going to be here. The poison on erratic is really bad because now it just allows for our hero to get a way easier takedown. Yes, it's going to leech a little bit of life, but not a lot. And then we get some Hercules action. I mean, panic point advantage remains with our hero. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 phobies for bad guy. They can put some 1 keys on the board, but clearly Hercules is threatening a lot. Phantom does make the board so much, like, similar to old Akira, I mean, current Akira, it makes the board so much more complex, because trying to determine, okay, well, is there a Blasto line here? Is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? It's like, it gets hard. But we're just going to get regular attacks because AoE plus Bwom into bees. Hilariously, the challenge play poll to make sure that Erratic can't connect with the Blasto. And then, of course, the virtually irrelevant disease. I mean, there's enough damage here to kill this Hercules, but killing the Phantom is crippling for them. Bees! Interesting the Erratic is going over here. Not bothering to close the gap. Well, I guess it kind of closes the gap, but the Blasto can walk away. Our hero isn't entirely out of the woods, I guess. Yeah, this can kill the bones. This probably comes down and kills the Erratic, and then I don't even know what bad guy does from here. Yep, get the boop. Pop the Erratic. Could you not move the Blasto? The Blasto didn't attack this. Or no, the Blasto attacked the, yeah, the Blasto attacked the Daisy. Never mind. I thought the Blasto had one more action. Not like it matters. At this stage, I think bad guy just straight up doesn't have enough damage to kill the Blasto. With the Panic Point advantage, you can just kind of wait around, and then eventually bad guy either has to come to you, or you'll get a Phantom back online, and then you can Blasto them into oblivion again. I think bad guy had some potential opportunities here. I think they had some potential opportunities. Obviously didn't seize them. Boop. Pop. Pop. That is a dead Jin Sting. Yeah, there's disease, but who cares? And then there were two. At least bad guys not dragging it out. Because, like, hypothetically, they could run all over the map with the remaining Phobies. At least they're walking them in, so we'll give bad guy credit for that. I mean, the game would have been over in our hero's favor. It just would have taken, like, 20 more turns to chase him down. Bwom. Just because we can. G. Well played. Well played. Alright, chat. I'm going to take a quick break. We'll probably do, like, one more just to, like, keep the list from getting too long. Because we're still leaving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. So we'd leave 4 if we did one more. I don't think I'm going to do all of them. But this way we don't end up with queues that are like 50 games again. So I'll be right back. Don't go away. All right, I'm pretty sure I accidentally marked this as completed and we didn't watch it. TDSM is our hero here. When lack of game knowledge costs you the game, I'm pretty sure the enemy thought that fire tiles kill resurrect Phobies even when you have a +7 level difference. I mean, it shows up all the time. Levels do matter. No one is going to say that they don't. But they can be overcome, and player skill does matter. Alright, we're going to get dueling newly deads? That's something you don't see very often. Dueling newly deads is not really a thing. Admittedly, bad guy is being less committal, ironically, to the game plan. You could do this where you advance one of them and then just pop the other one out as a surprise. Our hero here going for an early erratic. So they mentioned a +7 level. Ooh, level 20. That's more than 7 levels. Like, that's a lot of levels. This definitely feels like Bad Guy just felt like they could do whatever the hell they wanted. I was thinking about this the other day, with respect to level differentials and stuff like that, that sometimes I wonder, are the lower stress, lower collection players more skilled once they hit a certain level because they are forced to try and come up with more unique responses due to whatever disadvantage? I don't know if that's really true, but it was an interesting idea that came up. In this case, it's quite obvious Bad Guy either feels that they can do whatever the hell they want, or they don't know what the hell they're doing. Because, why did you put Jill on the board? Like, just why? There are a lot of hearts flying, especially at a season like this. Summer Love or something like that, I guess. I don't know. Taking down the Ted for no real functional purpose. Kind of offering up their own Ted, which, I mean, at this point, you're locked out of putting anything useful on the board as Bad Guy because you committed to these things. I almost want to see our hero leave the Jill and Ted alone and, like, keep them locked out. But our hero's also maxed out, so, like, it doesn't really behoove them. It's not like they can continue to put threatening bodies on the board. So instead, we just get a pick on each of the newly deads, it looks like. 2 spaces open, 14 keys available. We'll see what Bad Guy uses it for. That's a Noxious. Fair enough. Noxious Boss. That's a lot of AoE. The poison, it burns. Presumably, the fire tile thing is related to you're fired. Unless it was for this. Yeah, like, that kind of does make sense that a Bad Guy thought for some reason that the fire tile would kill the Jill. I mean, I guess it killed the Ted also, but yeah, this doesn't make any sense. I mean, they still have Noxious, but they're clearly not in a good spot, and our hero still has 12 keys, so, like, it's entirely possible that this boss dies this turn. It is now no longer even remotely possible that this boss dies this turn. I guess it was never really in the cards. Still had a ton of health. The Bad Guy has yet to kill anything. So they gave up the cassowary for, like, no purpose. Cupcake for the boss, that's fair. I feel like they needed to connect the Noxious last turn, or like that big turn, but I guess there was no way to do it. Yeah, there was. They could have flown to where the boss was. Hold on, now I gotta see this. Oh, no, they couldn't. Never mind, because I thought the, something was still there. Yeah, that was good positioning by our hero. That was good positioning by our hero, because that meant that they couldn't connect the Noxious. Because now the Noxious is going to have to fly into range and open itself up. Or get cooked here. Blasto. Ooh, bad guy. That's a lot of HP to chew through, and you do not have a lot of phobies left. Is that really where you want to connect it? I mean, I guess. And this, I don't know. So this is safer. What you could have done... I wonder if you would have been able to kill it, though. Because you would have only gotten 3 hits. Counting, and then the spider pull. I was going to say, like, you could have pulled the Noxious up, moved the Blasto down, blommed, to then connect with the boss also, move the Erratic up and leap with the Cassowary, but I don't know if that would have been enough damage to kill it. It would have probably kept everything a little bit safer, but I guess it doesn't matter. Like, that's that's a lot of big tanky phobies against solely a boss. Boss can do a lot of things, but boss is not winning this scenario. Boss is not winning this scenario. Yeah, very well played. I mean, this goes back to you can beat levels, but you need your opponent to make mistakes. And I don't know that the error with the whole Jill thing and Resurrect and Fire Tiles was really the issue. I think the bigger problem here is that bad guy locked themselves into like an awful team comp for several turns, didn't really do anything to alleviate it, and then just kind of... Like, I've been in their position where it's like, look, I outlevel this person by 1,000,000. I'm just going to send these guys in, and if I get there, I get there. And this is not, like, defending that kind of... I don't want to call it a strategy, because it's not. It's like the opposite of strategy. But I know from experience, like, if I am way over leveled compared to someone, I just check out. And it's like, well, if I lose this game, I just don't care. Like, I'll make them feel... And this is not to knock our heroes win, but, like, if I lose, I make them feel good. If I win, I get the win, and I didn't have to put any brain power into it. It's an unfortunate side effect of the way the Phobies system as a whole works, and it sucks. It needs to get fixed. It can't be this. But it is this for now. GG. Alright, so we will do one more on top of that, because, like I said, I think I accidentally marked that one as done. We did all the other ones, so we'll look at one more Potenza game, starting at the top here. Alright, this is a quicker one anyway. So Potenza here on Diabolical, a stall setup, more like get bronied. Brony is often a stall breaker. Brony does break them stalls. I started thinking about this today, chat, because I had mentioned on stream the other day about how I was feeling somewhat burnt out for non-game related reasons, although dealing with the same discussions about the game is also getting tiring or tiresome. But I do think that the game could... The biggest thing for me right now is, okay, yeah, we want to deal with the Phantom issue, fine, whatever. We want to deal with the Attractor problem, sure. Do what you gotta do. But I think the largest problem right now is we need a curation of the map pools. We need to get rid of a lot of these doo-doo maps, where they are just bad. Now, Diabolical may or may not be a bad map. But I think that things like Diabolical could stand to end up in the rotation more often to get a better sense of it, as compared to, like, getting RCO, which is not a good map. That map is bad. Or Eternal Monday for the umpteenth time. And I don't even think that those maps are good for the purpose of teaching people the game. You know, like, if you dump a new... Let's say we take a... Like, this might sting a little. I mean, that's a big map, but, Like, what's a good recent small map? I gotta look at them because I can't think of them right now. Phobies maps. There's no sound because I'm pulling up a folder to look at them. Definitely not Coulrophobia, I can tell you that much. Definitely not Crypto. Ergo is not a good map. Fernasified people apparently hate. I don't know about Hall of Mirrors. I don't really have a strong opinion on it yet. And a lot of the small maps kind of are doo-doo. We're getting a Gonzo action here. I know I'm not really paying attention to the game. We're letting it go in the background. Teen Spirit, I think people dislike. I don't know if Step Right Up is any good. Like, I don't have a strong opinion there. But like, let's say Transaction Declined. Transaction Decline might not be a good new player map because it has conveyor belt tiles. Man, is it really like this many bad small maps? I gotta look at this closer, but like, what about Detention? Is Detention a good map? I gotta think about it. But the point is that there has to be, and maybe it turns out that there's just like a lot of bad small maps. Because you do need small maps for the rotation as well as for new players, because sometimes the large maps are just overwhelming when you're onboarding. And I think at the end of the day, if they get rid of the crap maps, the game will be way healthier, independent of all of the issues with the phobie balance. Because a lot of them, there are maps where I zone into it and I'm just like, I don't want to play this map. I'm just tired of this map, which goes for like almost every Office theme map, which is kind of funny, which is very fitting. But I'm just very tired of them. So, are we going to get Crushmore break the obstacle south of Cowbell into Brony? That'll be... Yeah, that'll hit like everything. This is going to hit like everything. LOL. LOL! LOL! Oh my god. You get a little werewolf action. Panic point advantage hero. There's really no way to displace them either. You love to see it. You love to see it. This is a very clear example of why Karst has frequently cited Brony as incredibly toxic. Because I'm not clear that there are very good lines to counter this. This is something that I really should do a video on, and I am in talks with Karst about trying to get like a podcast together. It's come up before, so this isn't exactly new news. But the thing is here, like, how do we put this? And apparently Karst disagrees, but I am very concerned that Phobies is going to be incredibly linear in its openings and strategies. So what I mean by that is, if you don't have you're going to end up having everybody opens the identical way on given maps, which kind of happens today anyway, but you need to do that because it gives you the maximum flexibility later in the game. Because otherwise, if your opponent slams a Brony versus a Phantom versus a Goon versus a whatever, insert phobie that's very powerful. They require different answers. And if you don't have the appropriate answer, you kind of lose on the spot. Like, Bad Guy lost here the second Brony came out. There was basically... They did try and counterplay very well. Like, they set up that wall. But I think that it came down to their phobie selection for this. They possibly could have positioned a little bit differently. But at the end of the day, was there really that much they could have done differently? Or is it just they literally did not have the tools accessible to them in the time they needed in order to counteract the Brony push? And from what I saw, it feels like the latter. We could go back and put this under a microscope and watch with a more critical eye to see, okay, could Bad Guy have done this or that? But I am worried long-term as we get more unique phobies, as we get other powerful phobies, not even necessarily power creeping and becoming more powerful overall, just generally speaking, that these phobies are now doing something that requires X or Y. If you put Z on the board, you lose. And then eventually you get this cross-section where the phobia answers don't line up. And if you kind of have to assume past a certain point that everybody has a full collection or close to a full collection, especially in tournament play. So if there's 10 phobies and they all have their unique answer, but let's say 6 of them overlap and then 4 of them don't, and it doesn't matter which combination of 6 and 4 you choose, there will always be 4 that can't be answered. You have to have a very bland, very generic opener to try and do these things, or it's just a race for one person. It's actually not a race. It's the opposite. It's a stall to force the other person to commit so that you actually can counter it or put your own busted thing on the board that they are now incapable of answering. And that feels strategically very silly. And it's part of the reason that while people complain about having, like, it makes balance, let me rephrase this, it makes balancing a nightmare, because balance and fun are not the same. You could have things be too powerful, you could have things be too weak. In both scenarios, they are not fun. There's a very narrow band of sweet spot to have things that are both fun and interesting and balanced. And it's very difficult to do. And I don't think people appreciate it. That's why all these random buffs that people keep asking for, I am concerned about. Like, does it matter that the jackalopes get buffed in a vacuum? Probably not. Will it matter, and will it make something super toxic? Not necessarily because of the jackalopes, but the jackalopes in conjunction with something or whatever. Maybe. And we have to consider, like, you want to balance around the highest levels of play and one where people have things, but that's an exceedingly, vanishingly small population of the game. The vast majority of people do not have a lot of phobies, never will have a lot of phobies, and they're not at very high level. So what do we tell those people? To go pound sand? It's tough. It's tough. We shall see, chat. That is going to do it for this evening. We're going to close up a little bit early. We're going to be back tomorrow for variety. Next week, we will have more Phobies action. Maybe we'll play some more games. Who knows? If you're interested in joining some Phobies tournaments, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. Link for that in the description. And if you want to submit your games, it's also in the Discord. Likes and subscribes. The views definitely help. I think that's about it. Yeah, we'll sign off. That's going to do it for now. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Tune in next time for more Random Thoughts.